Breaking news. I need everyone to come to the front that has been trying to get a housing lottery apartment. I need you to come to the front now. I need you to get your pen and paper. I need you to get on your Zoom. We have breaking news. The application process is about to change massively. So let's get into it. Hey, it's Kimberlee and welcome back to my channel. I make videos on all things lifestyle on a budget. The big news is housing lottery apartments that are re-rentals. They are currently vacant because someone who previously lived in there moved out, are going to be released on a first come first served basis on websites like StreetEasy and Craigslist, etc., etc. The gag is apparently thousands of these apartments have been left vacant for years now because of the grueling housing lottery process. Only when they did a survey or review of this whole situation did they realize that they had all of these vacancies and that the process that they were currently reusing right now was causing a bottleneck. And that's why they were sitting vacant, which is insane. Starting May 1st of 2025 to April 30th of 2026, the Department of Housing Preservation and Development will now publicly advertise these re-rental opportunities on websites, like I said, StreetEasy, Craigslist, etc., etc. This has not happened before. The only way you were alerted about re-rentals is if in the application process, you clicked that button for re-rentals. Now, I just want to pause and say, I have previously clicked that and have never received any alerts or information about re-rentals. So I don't know what's going on there. I just want to add the statistic of how many people have opted into wanting to be notified about re-rentals. So this is me and probably many of you, but according to this article, they said that's 800,000 people. So that's probably why this mini pool selection isn't so useful to the landlords and brokers when it comes to re-rentals, because that mini pool is 800,000 people. And obviously it's a little bit less depending on what area, but if you said you're interested in the re-rental and you said you want one in Manhattan or Brooklyn or the Bronx, whatever, that's still quite a lot of people. And that's what I meant before about the bottleneck, in that these landlords are trying to reach out to people on a mini pool system and running into obstacles because whoever they come up with, maybe things have changed, maybe their income has changed, they're no longer interested in that unit. And I guess it just got too tiresome, or there wasn't an easy way. So that is why this whole waiver is coming into place, so that they can just kind of cast a wider net and the rules will be less constricting for them to get someone into that apartment. There's one article that talks about an apartment in the Bronx that's going for, I want to say, 1,200 or so range. I'll leave all the articles down below, but in the 1,200 or so range, it's a 1-bedroom, it's a 4th floor walk up, it's in the Bronx. It was left vacant from 2023 until now. And I'm glad that somebody came to their senses and was like, let's try this pilot program, because what do you mean thousands of apartments have just been left vacant? Now, how is this going to work? It's going to be first come, first served. So it's just like how you currently see StreetEasy listings and all the other websites that list apartments. Supposedly, there's going to be a release of these vacant apartments and people can apply and go from there. And in addition to posting these available apartments on StreetEasy and Craigslist, there's going to be supposedly a new portal on the Housing Connect website that lists these available apartments. I'm going to check back in with y'all when May 1st hits, and I'm gonna go to the portal and I'm gonna go to StreetEasy. We're gonna see if these vacant apartments are being listed. And I'm just gonna pause to say, this is a plus overall. There's going to be more apartments that are available. It allows for more accessibility, but it is a free-for-all. So the first come, first serve just kind of puts these apartments into the wild, wild west. And again, this is not gonna be the same process for new apartments. The new apartments that are on a Housing Connect, they're not gonna change. That is the same application process as of now. This is strictly just for re-rentals, meaning someone won the housing lottery, they lived in that apartment, and then for whatever reason, they moved out of the apartment and now that apartment was vacant and it has become available. First off, who's going to be listing these apartments? It's going to be landlords and brokers. That's what it says in the article. They're going to be able to publicly advertise, which is what I was saying. The landlord or broker is going to verify the applicant's eligibility. Then the applicant is going to submit their information to the Department of Housing and Preservation and Development for approval. If approved, the tenant can move in. And I just want to highlight in there that there's still going to be income requirements. So that doesn't mean that Joe and Sue, who make over $400K a year, can apply for a $1,200 apartment. that's not going to be the case. I mean, unless the income requirements allow for that, but for the most part, it seems like if they're making 400K a year, they're not going to be in the range for the 1200. So just to reiterate one more time, it's going to be for re-rentals and resale units. In addition to the application getting a little shorter, they're saying that they're going to reduce the amount and type of documentation an applicant needs to verify their eligibility, such as income, household size, and other factors. So it sounds like things are going to get a lot more streamlined, and we obviously love a follow-up, so it'll be very interesting to see how these things do take effect. You'll also have the opportunity to apply directly to management, which is great because, let me be clear, I have sometimes walked into buildings and being like, I know this is on the housing lottery, website, or I've previously seen it. Is there a way to reach out and see if there's any vacancies or whatever? And I did not receive a response, but let me just say that now I like that hopefully these buildings will have the information, or there'll be an email or something to where you can directly reach out. Okay, today is May 1st, and before we go in and check both websites to see if the new portal has been added and any new listings are on StreetEasy or anything like that, I want to talk about a website that was already showing the re-rentals. I don't know how I didn't know this, but again, better late than never. This website is nychdc.com, and when you scroll to the bottom, you'll see a section for re-rentals, and it already lists everything that's currently available. There's Queens, there was even one in Midtown, and these are super, super, super affordable rates. And yes, this does still apply to the income requirements, so you definitely have to check those. And it's funny because 3333 Broadway, for example, I remember touring that 5 years ago when I was looking for my current apartment, and that was just as a regular person. That building is mixed income, so there's regular rates, and then there's also the income requirement rates as well. So let's go. I'm gonna screen record on my laptop, and I love surprises, so I want us all to experience this. And as I do every time I screen record on my laptop, I'm going to Google how to screen record on my laptop because I forget each time. I want to just start off strong. I want to go to the Housing Connect website, which I had heard was supposed to be changing and under construction this morning. If anyone is interested, here is the section on your profile to where you would say you are interested in re-rentals. So it's in the housing choices section. There are some re-rentals available here. They're not posted on open lotteries, but are you interested? And personally, I think you should always say yes. So I'm not seeing a section that's talking about re-rentals. This still looks like new rentals. So if anyone feels like doing a little light reading, you can see the official information on the vacancy problems. This was from back in February. The rent was about $1,250. It was vacated in 2023. They had $14,000 in repairs. That's really interesting. And it sat vacant for 16 months, so over a year. And it is still vacant. And so they're saying that the loss of rent by now is $20K. Let's go to StreetEasy. Okay, here I am on StreetEasy, and I wanted to show a roughly easier way to try to find the HPD apartments. So right now I'm just going through and choosing all of Manhattan and all of Brooklyn, and I'm searching for any and every apartment. But now I'm gonna go into the more section, and I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to choose to type in HPD, which would be an indication for these income requirement apartments. And so now I'll see some different results, as you can see here. I switched the default to least expensive so we could see what's the most affordable and to see what those requirements are. And if you scroll down to the full description, you'll see that this is an HPD income requirement apartment, and the minimum income is $66K and the max is $141. And here's a quick glance through some of the photos that they provided. My assumption is that over the next days, weeks, months, etc., a bunch of apartments will start popping up on StreetEasy that will reflect a wider range of income requirements, and that'll be the change for this new program. If anyone out there is looking for housing lotteries for outside of New York City, hcr.ny.gov/lotteries. This is Melville. This is the Finger Lakes, Auburn, Rochester, Binghamton. So for anyone that's questioning outside of the city, you should go to this website. I'm going to check back And also, this is a great time for y'all to go ahead and check and to see if you're seeing anything different, because maybe by the time that this is uploaded, you will actually see the difference and you will already see some apartments being listed. Okay, so it's been a few days and I've continued to scour the internet to look for that new portal that was supposed to be coming out on Housing Connect, but I have not seen it yet. I will definitely check back in if a new portal does become available on the Housing Connect website, but I'm happy I'm able to share a couple other links for current re-rentals that are going on through different websites. I think you should definitely go ahead and bookmark those pages or go and get the process started if you are interested in one of those that were listed and available. Let's have a conversation down below. I want to know your thoughts. How are y'all feeling knowing that the process for getting into re-rentals will be far easier? And also, how do you feel knowing that they'll be listed on public websites such as Street Easy or Craigslist or something like that? Now, every time I mention Craigslist, I always just want to say, don't get duped, don't get tricked. Please read between the lines on all these situations. Please always make sure that it is legit and you're not going to get scammed or anything like that. I guess you can get scammed anyway, but if you're comfortable going onto those websites, just really make sure you are not getting sold a song that is not true. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I think that this is great overall. More opportunities for these vacant apartments to continue to be lived in versus not, especially when they're available. That is my video. That is the update on the new changes that are coming in regards to re-rentals and resale apartments here in the city. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.